you guys, Blade here, and today I'll be bringing my first ever PvP guide. It's going to be on Arms Warriors, macros, rotations, stat priority, glyphs, talents, and some tips I have to playing the warrior class. I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. So let's start off with the infamous warrior one-shot macro. Warriors haven't been able to one-shot someone legitimately since 5.1, but they can still do extremely high burst damage. I altered my one-shot macro up a bit, having it contain Bloodbath, Bladestorm, Avatar, pretty much whatever talents I'm using, and I hit this macro, it will go off. I also have Bladestorm bound separately, and I track the cooldowns of Skull Banner and Recklessness down here. And my Tyrannical Gladiator's Badge of Victory, that's also tracked on the same cooldown as Bladestorm, so I'll know when it's up if I need to burst before I have all cooldowns back. The next macro is a simple auto attack starter macro that I've used since Wrath when you actually needed to have these. I'm not quite sure if abilities still need to have slash start attack harm in them, but I like to have it anyways just in case. It lets me generate rage better if I'm in battle stance. Just helpful. And here are all my fancy warrior macros here. I'll go over the first one. This is my one of my favorite ones is the charge macro. What it is cancel or Bladestorm slash cast charge, and I can modify it with shift to charge my focus. And in the same button, it's also a mouse over intervene. So let me show you how it works. Alright, so this is how this macro works. Say if I wanted to get out of a route to charge an enemy at the same time, what I can do is I can drop my banner, spam intervene it, and then spam charge, and it all in the same button, it will go off. And I didn't have to target my banner. That same macro can also be used to mouse over target your healer and intervene traps and spell reflect the trap after, so they don't have to waste the spell on that. Yeah, that's about it for that macro. The next couple of macros are just a variety of focus macros: Focus Fear, Focus Pummel, and Focus Stormbolt. Basically what this macro does is it lets you cast your, for instance, Stormbolt on your focus target. I know these are pretty well-known macros, but this is just for beginners. So I'm not even targeting this guy. He's my focus, and I shift Stormbolt, and it hits him. The last two macros I have to show you guys are some throwing macros. So say your opponent bubbles during your Bladestorm, and you want to get it off really fast, but you're not fast enough to click off the Bladestorm. You want to do slash cancel or Bladestorm slash cast Shattering Throw. So let's find a critter around here. Oh, there's nothing. Oh, here we go. Okay, this guy's getting shattered. So I pop all my cooldowns. Oh no, bubble, and cancel Shattering Throw. And my last macro is just kind of a helpful throwing macro for heroic throw and throw. Basically what it lets me do is slash cast heroic throw, and then it lets me spam throw on the same button. You know, the wimpy warrior. I don't know how much damage it does, like 100 damage. Only worth using to keep rogues and stuff, but helpful nonetheless. So for the next section of the guide, I'm going to be going over warrior rotation. Now there's a little controversy over whether a warrior should charge, hamstring, mortal strike, or charge, hamstring, Colossus Smash. And what I've been testing out recently is just charge, hamstring, mortal strike, which applies your deep wounds and generates rage, then Colossus Smash, then 3 slams. Now after the 3 slams, your mortal strike will be coming off cooldown, so you'll be up to mortal strike, and then start going into overpower until you're above 70 rage again, and you enter the slam phase with Colossus Smash applied to the target. Alright, so here's how to get some early pressure as a warrior. So Battle Shout, charge, mortal strike, Colossus Smash, slam times 3 to get all those Colossus Smash slams in, mortal strike, then you go into your overpowers. 3 overpowers will reset your mortal strike cooldown, and I just got a Colossus Smash proc, so I'm gonna slam until Mortal Strike comes off. Then I got another, but I'm lower than 50 rage, so I'm going to overpower spam, and then go into overpower more. And that's basic warrior rotation. Now, it's a little different when you have to play in arenas. Most likely you're going to be sitting in defensive stance unless you want to play on the edge and you're not being targeted and you go into battle stance. Berserker stance is pretty much useless right now. So your rotation is going to be slightly different. You're not going to be slamming as much, and you're going to be using overpower below 70 rage. You never want to hit rage cap though. So charge, Colossus Smash, overpower, Mortal Strike, overpower, Mortal Strike, then overpowers. And if you see a battle shot, if your battle shot comes off cooldown, you can see if you can get above 70 rage, and then you can slam with Colossus Smash on the target. But as you can see, rage generation is not too good in defensive stance, but you can still get off a lot of damage. So the next section of the guide will consist of glyphs and talents. I think the talent trees, Blizzard actually did a pretty good job making the choices, every choice viable. For warriors, I'd actually go with Juggernaut majority of the time. I rarely use Double Time and Warbringer, but they both have their uses. I tried out Second Wind, and I do like the fact that they did buff the healing done and reduce the cooldown, but it still does not compare to Second Wind. Impending Victory is interesting. I like to use it in PvE when I'm not going to be sitting at, or at least hopefully not going to be sitting at 35% of my health most of the time. For the level 45 tier, I have been running with Disrupting Shout for a while. People have been complaining about Disrupting Shout, but it's been in the game since MOP started. I guess it's just has a lot more use now, seeing as hamstrings off the GCD and people aren't taking Piercing Howl as much, and Staggering Shout now breaks on roots, breaks on damage, which is irritating. I used to love running the Staggering Shout back in 5.2. The level 60 tier, I go between Blade Storm and Shockwave. Right now, I'm actually enjoying Shockwave Stormbolt in 3s a lot. I can CC so much, and still, Shockwave does do some damage, and it does allow me to switch to Battle Stance during my burst phase if I get both DPS and a Shockwave. The 75 tier, I've been actually playing with Safeguard and Vigilance recently. I'd go with Safeguard over Vigilance just because it has a 30-second cooldown, even though Intervene and Safeguard have the same effect now. But recently, Mass Spell Reflect has taken priority. I like Mass Spell Reflecting traps if I can't intervene them, and I'll take Safeguard if I'm going against Mage Rogue in 2s or Thug Cleave in 3s. The level 90 tier, all three options are viable. I love Stormbolt with the 4-second charge, 4-second stun now. It's really helpful to peel and also CC healers. I can Stormbolt, Focus Charge into Focus Fear, and that's a good 12 seconds of CC on the enemy healer. I do run Shockwave Avatar occasionally. That's probably my second most played spec in arenas because of the burst. I love Turbo Cleave this patch. It helps me line up Ascendance and Reckless's Avatar and Skull Banner. And if my Shaman crits with his Ellie Blast during Skull Banner and I get some crits in the slam, it's game. I do, however, during RBGs and regular battlegrounds, run Bladestorm Bloodbath. I love that spec. It's just so much spread pressure, it's ridiculous. Dragon's Roar, oh god, I'm not even gonna talk about that, but actually that only has its uses in PvP for one-handed Fury Warriors who can crit. They'll normally crit at least 100k with that on a single player. Now for glyphs. I don't think I have a unique glyph choice. I see Hoodrich and Wreckful using the Colossus Smash glyph. Bull Rush, I see every warrior using that. That's just to help out Rage and Defensive Stance, and Heroic Leap, or Death from Above, actually, lowering the cooldown on Heroic Leap by 15 seconds. I think that's mandatory. But the only glyph I would occasionally switch out is Glyph of Colossus Smash, and I would switch it with probably a glyph I don't even have, Blitz. I never liked Blitz really. I see its uses. I should probably use it, but I just love the damage from Sunder Armor. However, there are other glyphs that do have their uses, such as Long Charge. I used to run Long Charge in the beginning of Mob, and then I started experimenting with other glyphs and whatnot. When Overpower got changed to Causing Rage, I switched from Long Charge to Bull Rush. Another useful glyph is probably Rude Interruption. That's 6% damage pretty much every time you get a pummel off, and pummel's cooldown is 15 seconds. So if you manage to pummel on cooldown, you'll do 6% more damage all the time. The reason I haven't been using that is just because I'm biased. I love my glyph tree right now. So for the last section of the guide, I'm going to be going over warrior stat priority system. Right now, most warriors are running crit, strength, mastery, and don't forget your 3% hit and expertise. Most warriors, I believe, are running the crit build because Overpower already has a 60% chance to crit, increased with 5% buff from whatever classes will give the 5% crit buff. That's 65% chance. And if you get even close to 30% crit once you're max gear, which I believe you'll be able to get at least around there, maybe 28%, you will have a close to 100% chance to crit with Overpower, and you will have a guaranteed 100% crit chance with Recklessness and Skull Banner, which will lead you to do more damage in Defensive Stance, which is more reliable because you won't get killed. Do not devalue Strength though. Strength is still one of the strongest stats for warriors. I try and hit the socket bonus for the strength. I put my crit and hit in there because we want to go for exactly 3% hit, which I'm pretty much there. 0.03 hit chance isn't really gonna make a difference, and it allows you to reforge out of hit on gear pieces such as the hand, which I reforged into Mastery. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think, and maybe I'll do another video like this in the future. Who knows, Duel Guides? Maybe we should just ask Swifty for them. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys.